Right, today I'm going to show you how to make this tri-folded card using A4 cardstock. Measurements that I found online are for using 12 by 12 cardstock cut in half at 6 by 6, but because I had A4, had to change the measurements. Measurements are really easy with 12 inches going this way because you score it 2, 4, 8 and 10, but as it was a piece of A4 it was slightly more difficult. So I did some maths, and here's my template which is on my blog. So I kept it to 6 inches this way, but then I cut it, changing to centimetres, to 28.2 centimetres, which is 11¼ inches, so that I could divide it into the sections to score it 4.7, 9.4, 18.8 and 23.5 centimetres to give us the even score sections. And then you cut 1.5 inches from each end, from the first to the last score line. Okay, and I'm just going to show you how to cut that using my new super duper Stampin' Up paper cutter. Previously used a guillotine, and you would not be able to do this with a guillotine because you couldn't cut within those lines. So it's very simple. It does inches and centimetres, which is handy. One cut, simple. And you take out the extended line, extended arm, clicks into place. It has got a foot there for steadying, and then we're going to cut at 28.2, 28.1, 2, close it down and cut. And that's the piece of cardstock we need. Now we start the scorer, and this is where I love this, because there's a scoring tool. So if you haven't got a score board, you don't need one with this, which is fab. So we're doing 23.5, so put it up there at 23.5 and run that down a couple of times, and then 18.8, and it's easy to read. And then the next one's 9.4, here to 9.4, and then the last one's 4.7. 7. And then get rid of the score tool. We're now back to the cutting tool, and we find 1.5 inches, and then we're going to cut from that score line to that score line. The cutting tool's got a little pointer there, so we line up the pointer to that one, and then we can stop at that one. The arm does also measure a little bit in centimetres along the edge of the line, so you can do some precision cutting, and you can cut little bits. You can gut cards, which I love. If you're just mattering and layering, I always think it's such a waste. And you're just covering it up, you're only seeing the edges anyway. You may as well gut, and I love gutting. Okay, and so that's it. You would never have done that with a guillotine. So I love this. £25.99, pounds that is. Brilliant. Saves you having a scoring that at the same time. Right, in this we do some valley and mountain folds. Just do the top section because we don't want the folds here to be the same. So that's a mountain fold and a valley fold and a mountain fold and a valley fold. And then the bottom section the same. So we've got a valley fold and a mountain fold and a valley fold and a mountain fold. We want to avoid folding these score lines, and so if those are mountains, that one's a valley, and then they're valleys, so that one's a mountain. And then we'll just fold it over like that, and take the bone folder and burnish the folds. And that's the basic, bless me, the basic card design, and then we've got to decorate it. And so I worked out here, again I've put this on my blog, oops, is the sizes of the mats that we need. So we need 3 that are 7 centimetres by 8.8, we're working in inches, 2 3/4 by 3 7/16, and then 2 of this size, 3.3 by 8.8 centimetres, inches are there, and then 8 of these little ones which are 3.3 by 4.2 centimetres. And I'm cutting those out with white card, again using my Stampin' Up trimmer, and I think I found it easiest as there are quite a lot that are 8 by 8, so I go to 8 by 8 centimetres, cut that down, and then we can do 3 at 7. I find it so much quicker than the guillotine, and it's precise. And then 3 by 3, 2 of those. And then we've got the little ones which are all 4.2 centimetres. So I'll do me 4.2. Oops. Move that now. And then cut them at 3.3. So do that 3.3. And we're going to do that 8 times. So very, very quick. So just sweeping them up. Find it so much quicker and easier than the guillotine. I love it. Okay. And that's all there is to it when they're prepped. Coming back for the next section. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to use the Stampin' Up Lotus Blossom stamp set, 3-part stamp set, stamp 1, stamp 2, stamp 3. So simply, they're numbered. This is number 1. Stamp it up, ink it up rather, and then stamp number 1. Then we take number 2, and this is going to be a 2nd generation stamp. So we stamp once off and once on, so that's number 2. And then the 3rd stamp is going to be 3rd generation. So we stamp once off, twice off, and then 3rd time on. Because they're polymer, you can see through them, so you know exactly where you're going. So there, that's lovely. For this little one, I just used step 2 and 3, so it gave it a slightly different, darker effect. So this is going to be number 1. And then this one is 2nd generation, number 2. And if I don't actually say 1, 2, etc., I make mistakes. So you can see that one's got slightly different, slightly darker effect there, which I quite like. And then we do the stems. The stems is 2-part. You've got a solid one and a not so solid one. The not so solid one is your first one. So that's a simple stamp down. And then your solid one, 2nd generation, stamp off, stamp on, that's that. And then I've got a lovely little sentiment, because although it's a lotus blossom, I thought they looked fairly like roses. So I've got a lovely little sentiment. Hope your day is as sweet as roses. I will do that one again because I've got a line there. And then for the other ones, I've got a little leaf stamp here, which was free from a magazine. And so I'm simply putting it one like that, and a little one like that. And then they've just got to get stuck to the card. So I'll be back to do that in a sec. So now the final assembly bit, I've stuck all the rest in because it's a bit boring to watch somebody glue in. So I use wet glue. Make sure you've got a clean piece of paper when you're gluing down. The amount I have thrown away because I failed to do that. So I like to use wet glue because you've got a bit of wiggle room when you're setting it in the sections. I like to wash my hands between stamping and gluing as well because I tend to get it all over my hands, and then if you get a bit of glue on you transfer the colour, and I have made a couple of mistakes where I've had to redo sections because of that. You can see here the nice difference between the using the 3 flower sections and just using 2. I think it just gives it a nice difference. The other one I did, I used cherry cobbler, and I coloured the leaves in green, but because I'm doing this one totally in monochrome, I decided not to bother. I was going to get some grey watercolour pens and do it like that one to be opposite, and then I changed my mind and just thought, no, it's fine. Fine the way it is, I'll leave it like that. And then, in order to have something to write on the back, I just made a little one of these. And as you can see, I made a mistake with that one because I didn't in my head go 1 generation, 2 generation, 3 generation. I was actually thinking about going to the pub actually. Okay, so I'm just doing the final bit now on the card. Sorry about that little interlude. No, I didn't go to the pub. So the final bit, finishing touch, is just putting on some little rhinestones. Stick one there, and there, and then I'll put one on the middle section in the opposite corner. Up there. And that's it. Just gives it a little bit of sparkle. So, there we have it. So that's the one in monochrome, and that's the one I did before in cherry cobbler. Difficult because it's flat to see how it would look standing up. There, give you some idea what it looks like standing up. I'm quite pleased with that. I think that works equally well in monochrome as it does in the cherry cobbler. And when I get my next order, I'll be making it in other colours as well. There we go. Thank you for watching. Check out my blog, got all the details on there of measurements.